In 1996, when the government conducted a political purge and a crackdown on unlawful religious activities, poison pen letters were sent to the government, and Tai Ji Men was caught in the crossfire. After 3 criminal trials spanning 10 years and 3 months, the Supreme Court's decision in 2007 confirmed that Tai Ji Men was not guilty of fraud, tax evasion, or violation of Tax Collection Act, clearing Tai Ji Men's name.
I saw a streak of shadow in his eyes. Based on my experience of handling cases, my instinct told me he might be raising goblins.
If a prosecutor can decide whether to prosecute you or not, only based on the look in your eyes, never will there be a day of peace in Taiwan.
I've studied the Tai Ji Men tax case for close to 2 years. I've written an article about the Tai Ji Men tax case. I don't think I've seen more abuse of the right of due process in any situation than I have seen in the Tai Ji Men tax case. It is not due process to accuse a human being in a civilized society of raising goblins. The mere statement of that would cause individuals and should cause individuals to question the sanity of the prosecutor. And in any court of law, such an absurd allegation would be thrown out. I think that a 20-year ordeal is a violation of human rights. Justice delayed is justice denied. And to delay justice for 20 years and to still not have it, as we're sitting here today, is, in my mind, a denial of justice. And the thing that perplexes and even disturbs me is the fact that justice has been denied and delayed by just a few individuals. It is appalling to me that those few individuals could hijack an entire government.
The Tai Ji Men case is neither a tax case nor a case about the judiciary because it is, in fact, a purge, a political purge.
The Tai Ji Men incident is a typical February 28th incident.
The Tai Ji Men case is like a mirror that completely reflects the problems of the judicial system in Taiwan, as well as the severe problems in taxation.
We still want to emphasize that Tai Ji Men indeed is not a cram school. We would like to commend Tai Ji Men for its contribution to sports and family life education.
The gift from dizi, according to the income tax law and the inheritance and gift tax law, is tax-free. More importantly, the criminal court has made a decision on this, and the giver is responsible for paying taxes rather than the recipient.
The first trial decision on the Tai Ji Men case at the time, the only objective was to honor freedom of religion, belief, and thought in human dignity. I believe that in taxation, we should also honor this. To clarify, the court rulings in the first, second, and third trials indicate that this is a gift, so you should not interpret it as a cram school tuition.
This case is mainly about the fact that they believe these were monetary gifts for their shifu. After 3 trials, the Supreme Court has made its decision. We, as judges, elaborated on the reason why the indictment is not reliable. If the tax agency quoted this indictment as the basis for taxation, I think it is outrageous.
You can visit the Control Yuan's website, where I indicated 7 points for rectification. With each, the National Taxation Bureau simply said, we made a mistake. In 2011, I told the finance minister that this case should be closed. But he didn't attempt to resolve the matter the way he would with his own business. After all, he already got his bonus, and the tax is imposed on someone else anyway.
Through the criminal investigation in the judicial system, it has been confirmed that the money involved is a gift rather than income, so there is no issue of income tax. For the facts confirmed in a criminal court's ruling, the administrative agency have no reason not to adopt them and no reason not to base their decision on them.
Since it is a questionable judgment, the administrative enforcement agency should not enforce it. So why should they enforce it? It is the question of bonuses.
Executing an obviously wrong court judgment and forcibly carrying out an auction for an unjustified tax bill, to be honest, was a crime of dereliction of duty, as collecting a tax with the knowledge that it should not have been collected was a crime under Article 129, Item 1 of the Criminal Code.
The grievance of Tai Ji Men should have been solved 10 years ago. But why is it still unresolved? Because you are the first type of the largest illegal taxation administrative sanctions, is to withdraw it.
The prosecutor brought a fabricated and baseless prosecution. Now the courts have found the defendant not guilty. Not guilty. What does that mean? Means that at the outset, all the tax information provided by the prosecutor was fake. Right, it was all fake.
Between 1966 and 1990, Tai Ji Men had no tax problems. From 1997 to this day, Tai Ji Men has had no tax problems either. Why did you impose taxes on Tai Ji Men only for 1991 to 1996?
Regarding the Tai Ji Men case of injustice, over 300 legislators have expressed their voices of justice over the years.
I'd like to use this opportunity to appeal to our government. The government should encourage the transmission of this culture in this area. This culture cannot be broken. Once the culture is broken, our roots will be broken. That's why the lineage of our nation cannot be broken. So I think Tai Ji Men can do such a thing. This is a merit in cultural transmission.
The Tai Ji Men case is straightforward. In 2002, when Control Yuan issued the investigation report, we thought Ministry of Justice would take action, but nothing happened. They all cover up each other.
In 2002, the Supervisory Court investigated the mistakes of prosecutor Ho Kwan-ren in investigating the Tai Ji Men case, and the 8 major crimes were written here in black and white. The Supervisory Court is asking you to investigate and punish such a blatantly illegal act, and you are still bending over backwards to defend him.
The case was heard by over 80 judges, and in the end, Tai Ji Men won the case. Surprisingly, the Taxation Bureau insisted on seizing the property through the Administrative Enforcement Agency of the Ministry of Justice. This resulted from the prosecutor's abuse of power and unlawful prosecution.
There is insufficient evidence for criminal charges. What law did you apply? Why are the tax bills not revoked? What law did you apply? You should correct your mistakes.
The administrative courts, the Control Yuan, and the Petitions and Appeals Committee all made decisions in their favor. They won every single time. Could you please explain, apart from these 3 authorities, what else can they appeal to?
Is it justifiable to brush aside due process, the legal basis for our laws, simply for the purpose of collecting more taxes?
Today, in the Tai Ji Men case, justice is on whose side? The truth is on whose side? It's already very clear. In light of the huge costs of this case to taxation and society, we probably are doing a meaningless thing.
The judicial system has cleared their names and has made the ruling. Why do the administrative agencies still go against the court's ruling? We request that the administrative agency follow the law and take action in accordance with the court's ruling.
In the criminal and legislative aspects, Tai Ji Men has been declared innocent of all charges. Tai Ji Men has won the case. As for the National Taxation Bureau in the executive yuan system, our appeal has been heard in the Supreme Court. The final decision of the 3 court trials confirmed Tai Ji Men innocent. At the National Taxation Bureau, within the Ministry of Finance's appeal system, Tai Ji Men once again won the case. Even the control yuan decided that Tai Ji Men is innocent. I can't think of any ways after numerous legislators have inquired regarding this case. I can't think of any other course of action in our country's legal system can be taken to solve the case. I really don't know what is going on. Is it how our country's legal system is designed?
This case has been dragged for more than 10 years and is unable to be resolved. The administrative agencies have to take full responsibility, while the administrative agencies exercise administrative discretion. They have to ensure that people's human rights on taxation are protected, which is the most important spirit and objective.
If the Tai Ji Men case cannot be resolved, taxation human rights do not exist. So many people. If so many people have appealed, yet this grievance still cannot be rectified, then there's no human rights at all.
We have talked about this case many times in the Finance Committee of the Legislative Yuan, and it is unbelievable. Although this case is a belated justice, it should be closed soon. Today, many committee members have come here to care. So I hope to ask the Ministry of Finance to use this case, so as not to cause social unrest because of a specific prosecutor, or because of abuse of power by one person.
I know this issue has wasted too much time and resource. This is very serious, and it has shaken the 5 branches of government and the foundation of the nation.
We request the Ministry of Finance to complete this case in 2 months. What to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Don't delay anymore.
Let the NTB of the Central Area submit the report to the Ministry of Finance. It's the NTB of the Central Area. It's not good to let them take full responsibility. Just report to the Ministry. This is all I will say. Okay, we'll do as the Deputy Minister says. We'll send our official report to the Ministry of Finance. Just now we said to dismiss, to revoke it. Okay, the Taxation Bureau of the Central Area will report to the Ministry of Finance.
After the public hearing, the Minister of Finance issues an official letter to Legislator Tian in July 22, 2010, and sent it to the office of Legislator Tu Xingzhe as well, and then sent it to Legislator Justin Chiu on the 30th. He stated clearly that they had asked the NTB of the Central Area to revoke the tax bill in accordance with the Article 40 of the Tax Collection Act.
We demanded the Taxation Bureau to revoke its illegal tax bills. You just ignored us. Do you think you're above us? You ignore the court, the control yuan, and even the legislative yuan. You really think you're above everyone else.
The criminal case has spent 10 years and 7 months. The judgment of all 3 trials found Tai Ji Men not guilty. The court judgment clearly stated that there was no fraud, no tax evasion, and no violation of Tax Collection Act. NTB still continues to issue tax bills. What on earth is wrong with it? Our taxpayers' rights are almost non-existent. The case has been ruled not guilty by the court, the control yuan, and the Supreme Administrative Court, but you keep patient them with the same tax bills.
I think the court has already made a judgment, and the supervisory yuan has dealt with it, so the National Taxation Bureau cannot use such a method. President Tsi's judicial reform is very important, but tax system reform is more important. The new government has just taken over, and there are a lot of things to be done, and a lot of things to deal with, but tax reform must be at the top of the list, and it should be listed as a part of transitional justice.
The current president announced that no citizen should encounter state violence anymore.
We need to be outraged if the case is not settled properly.
Many legislators from different parties are all expressing their concerns about this case.
It was not until the Tai Ji Men case did injustices over taxpayers' rights start to come to prominence. So we must in fact thank Tai Ji Men.
How come this over ongoing case of injustice hasn't been resolved? Is there justice in the nation? In the government?
In the Legislative Yuan, especially in the Finance Committee, we've heard many petitions from the citizens, but we've never heard anything as absurd as what Tai Ji Men experienced. As ordinary citizens, the gifts they gave and the claims they made were reasonable and lawful. Their claims, which have been approved by the courts, are trampled. This is unacceptable.
The Tai Ji Men tax case was initiated by you. It has dragged on for 18 years and hasn't settled yet. Why is that? If the Tax Bureau were right, if the Ministry of Finance were right, why would it end after 18 years?
I would like to report to you that
if the Taxation Bureau is wrong, then you should quickly terminate the case. One time, in order to enforce a compulsory execution, a released official document was clearly backdated using correction fluid. It was backdated to allow you to enforce a compulsory execution. Why are there such tax officers? Why are there such tax agencies? The government has pestered the people for 18 years. The case is still not settled. Clearly, there is something wrong with the government. Either it is not capable or there is something wrong with its mindset.
then we should surrender and stop, right? Then we should surrender and stop, right?
You are just being unreasonable, so you would make such senseless remarks.
Regarding the taxation issue that Tai Ji Men has been litigating for many years, we think that this year, on July 26, 2018, the Supreme Administrative Court has already made a judgment such as 107 Judgment Number 422. It has been clearly revealed that the National Taxation Bureau provided some wrong information to the administrative courts at all levels, and the Supreme Court ruling has stated that what the Tai Ji Men dizi gave to shifu was a gift, not a tuition.
Regarding Tai Ji Men tax dispute, it's been a long journey. I have participated in many parts of it. Of course, it is time to have the case settled.
This tax bill is more than 20 years old, and I have held several public hearings in the Legislative Yuan. I believe that as long as there are so many people's voices, and so much righteousness together, we can definitely achieve the goal of vindication.
National Taxation Bureau can quickly use the previous cases, from 1993 to 1996 to present the 1992 case to Minister Su, to make a dismissal. I think he can do it. He also must have such a responsibility. I sincerely hope that Minister Su, you will dismiss this case yourself and take up the responsibility of 24 years.
From 1991 to 1996, the 6-year period. There have been 5 years, there is no problem for 5 years, and there is no taxation. Only the 1992 one caused problems. Why there are two completely different results for the same thing, then obviously there are some problems in it.
For the past 35 years since its founding, your esteemed organization has upheld its objectives of loyalty, filial piety, love of the country, and love of society, uniting like-minded people to promote martial arts, traditional culture, and good social values. It's admirable.
Tai Ji Men is an ancient menpai of Qigong and martial arts, passed down from generation to generation. It's like a big family. All dizi are energetic and healthy physically and mentally. Under Zhang Menzhen's leadership, the dizi not only practice self-cultivation, but also spread kindness to help the world. Through international culture exchanges, they foster love for the world, promoting the idea of love and peace worldwide. On behalf of the government, I would like to take this opportunity to extend my utmost respect and gratitude to you once again. Thank you for your long-term efforts and contributions to our country and society.
Every time we see Tai Ji Men, we see energy, warmth, and love. We all admire Dr. Hong's compassion and would like to see Tai Ji Men practice this worldwide. Let Taiwan stand out and let the world come in.
Under the John Munren's leadership, Tai Ji Men has actively participated in international events, conducted citizen diplomacy, and raised Taiwan's global visibility. In the future, I also hope that Tai Ji Men under Dr. Hong's leadership will continue to work with the government. Let us use our positive influence and move Taiwan forward with continued progress. Let the world see Taiwan.
The criminal trial decision has proved Tai Ji Men's innocence. The government has awarded the defendants compensation for unlawful imprisonment. The control yuan even recognized this as a landmark case of human rights violation. Incumbent and former presidents of our country, heads of government agencies, legislators, and scholars and experts at home and abroad have not only praised Tai Ji Men for its contribution to society, but also expressed their voices of justice over the Tai Ji Men case. The Taxation Bureau should immediately revoke the unjustified tax bills, terminate the case of injustice, and clear the people's names.